What's up, everybody? I'm going to do a little video this morning of some new stuff I got in last year and some reissues. Pretty much all new stuff. There's a couple of old albums that I'd wanted for a long time that I finally picked up. But just some stuff I want to show that I got last year that you guys might want to check out. First, I got the reissue of Don't Rock the Jukebox by Al Jackson. Man, this is a killer album, man. I have his greatest hits on vinyl too, but I wanted this because it has Midnight in Montgomery on it. This was just a killer album when it came out. It says, Don't Rock the Jukebox, That's All I Needed to Know, Dallas, Midnight in Montgomery, Walking the Floor Over Me, just a killer album. This came out on black vinyl, this one did, but I just love this album. So glad they did it. I mean, Alan is in the 90s, and I just love this album, man. I want him to do all his albums over again, because they're all getting up there in price, but I'm glad I got that. Next, this is Wyatt Ellis's Happy Valley. I saw Wyatt with Marty Stewart this summer. This kid is like a virtuoso mandolin player. He did some stuff with Marty while we were there, played some great stuff. He did this record on his own label. I hung out and got to hang out with him after the show. He's a really nice kid. But he's doing everything on his own. Got to meet him and hang out with him for a few minutes. Just great Newgrass album. It shows he does a little more of the vintage bluegrass, but this is really good. And this album has Marty Stewart, Dominic Leslie, Sierra Hall. Who else is on this? There's a bunch of people, but a great bluegrass album. If you guys haven't heard it, you saw it right there. Just great album. If you're into bluegrass, you should check this out. It's very good. Next, I got to meet her this spring. It was the fall, I'm sorry. Molly Tuttle. I got the sign right there. I bought a couple of her albums. Gonna meet her at a record store. Sweet girl. Killer bluegrass, newgrass album. My money, I think she's as good as Billy. I love Billy Strings, but she's as good as Billy Strings in my opinion. Maybe even a better guitar player. But love this album. If you have not gone down the Molly Tuttle, telling you, you should check her out, because great writer. Her voice is beautiful. Amazing guitar player. Check Molly out if you haven't heard. Oh man, I got this. The Best of the Dual Tone Years by Guy Clark. Just on black vinyl. Guy Clark's my favorite singer. Love him. I do not own the Dublin Blues, which is my favorite album by Guy Clark on vinyl. It's like $300, I can't remember. And this had Randall Knife on it. It has Dublin Blues on it. It has Hemingway's Whiskey. It's a great album. If you're looking for like a good hits album of Guy Clark, this is great. I love him. That right there would be my biggest hit. That's a signed copy of Old Friends that I found this summer. But this is a great album if you want to listen to the older Guy Clark stuff. It's definitely worth buying. This was kind of a blind buy. I know who Lonnie Mack is. I have a couple of his blues albums. I just bought this because it was cheap, and I saw it, and it's called Home at Last, and this album surprised me. This is is an amazing album. I love this album. It's so good. It's literally made me happy to listen to it. Like, just talking about going back to his hometown and just becoming him again. Just beautiful album. It's one of those surprises that I figured it was going to be a guitar album. It's not. It's very Americana, like country-ish album. Just awesome. If you haven't heard this, check it out. No, this one right here. This is Karen Dalton, In My Own Time. This is an original copy. It has the 45-cent tag on it. I was in Lexington, South Carolina, and there's a little record store. I think it's called Vintage Vinyl, and I was in there, and the guy knows me. I've been in back and forth a few times. He sees me, and we always talk about like country Americana and stuff in there. He'll show me something weird he has, and he goes, "Are you into like female country artists, folk artists?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Have you heard Karen Dalton?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh," and he pulls this up. I'm like, "Wow, that's cool." And he's like, "Yeah, I got it in a box of records, really good, and it's a really pricey album." And I go, yeah, it is." And we're talking, and he just, he goes, he goes, well, I'd like to get like $60 for it if you're interested. I'm like, yeah. And I bought it because if you know anything about this album, this is not a $60 album. This is $250 probably. This is awesome. If you're, what are they called? The Billie Holiday of country folk music. Like, if you've never heard her, you should check her out. She's very interesting. Her voice is really cool. But I'm glad to have got that into my collection. I bought this at my buddy, a company's next to at my buddy store local in town. This is Ralph Stanley and the Clinch Mountain Boys. Sings Michigan Bluegrass. These old ones with Ricky Skaggs and Keith Whitley, man, they're hard to find. And this one's still in plastic from Jessup. Great, just a great bluegrass album. Anything with Keith Whitley in it, I'm scooping up, Glad to have got that. And I got this there too. This is Keith Whitley and Ricky Skaggs, second generation bluegrass. This is a hard record to find. This is a big find for me for the year. Really nice shape. I think this is on that same record label. Yeah, no, this is on Rebel Records. I think I paid like $15 for this. It's worth way more than that, but this is something I'll keep forever. I love Keith Whitley. Glad to have picked that up. This next one here was kind of a blind buy. I was looking up on Instagram. I just plugged in like funk country and country rock, and to see what people put in for records in there. And this came in. This is High Mountain Hoedown. This is a cool album. A little funky, a little soul in it. I'm trying to think of the guitar player in this. He's Jay Williams. I can't think of his name, but this is a great album. It's like I said, it's among that funky country blues on there. Great guitar playing. If you're into that kind of thing, you should check this out. High Mountain Hoedown. This is one Doc Kirby and Co. This is on Playboy Records. This is something that Headley told me about this year. I've got most of the albums from this he was talking about in the album. I think I'm missing one. This is a beast. This is another, you know, kind of funk country rock album. Man, I've listened to this a bunch of times. If you look at that cover, they're all sitting there, and he's sitting there with a gun. Just crazy. This, if you can find this on eBay real cheap. You should pick it up. This is a wild ride. This album. Next one here. Tony Rice, Native American. This is a reissue on that limited root beer vinyl. Man, this is a beauty. This album. This has Jerry Douglas on it and Wyatt Rice. This is good. This is a masterpiece. I almost bought an OG of it. At my local record store. Sorry about the shine there. Fix it for you. They had it for $70. I thought it broke, so I didn't grab it, but I had the reissue. Yeah, what's this have? This one has Night Flyer in it. Oh. If you're a Tony Rice fan, you'll probably find this reissue. You should definitely pick that one up. And then, in the beginning of the year, this was a big one for me. From my buddy Tim Fuzzy Needle, hooked me up with an OG of Church Street Blues, man, on Cher Hill. This one was big on my list for a long time. This album is killer. This is one of his harder ones to find. So glad they reissued this too. So if you've not heard this, you can find this now. But this album is amazing. Yeah. So like, I traded some records in to get it, but you know, it's $100 record all day. Yeah. Tony's the man. Another record I got from my buddy there at the Fuzzy Needle, of Bobby Charles. This is a promo copy, white label promo on Bearsville. This falls in that, you know, funky country section. This is a beautiful album. Just listen to the song. If you want the funky side, listen to Street People. Oh, and what's the name? Must Be in a Good Place Now. It's just a great song. If you've never heard it, this album is beautiful country rock album. If you've never heard it, it's fine to have that one in my collection. Go another this one right here. This is Dead Man's Bones. This is like kind of dark. It's not kind of. It's this is a dark album. This is my brain's not working now. What is his name? Jeez. Ryan Gosling's band with his another guy. It's got I think it's a San Francisco Children's Choir plays in the background, but there he is right there, Ryan Gosling. This is a very weird album, but it's really cool. It's like he went to Disney, and he had decided. I think he went through It's a Small World of him, and he had this idea for this. Like I said, it's like if you're into Amigo the Devil, like dark lyrics kind of. But yeah, check it out, Dead Man's Bones. I know I didn't explain that very well, but it's very interesting. I got this in the beginning of the year. This is the Mallett Brothers Band from Portland, Maine. Gold Light. They're a great, like, Americana country rock band. They come to when I lived in New Hampshire, they'd come and play there a lot. They're very good. you're into like, like Brent Cobb or like sorry, my brain is just not there today. Plus it's 5 o'clock in the morning. Drive-by truckers, like that. It's very good, like Whiskey Myers kind of stuff. It's very good if you're into that kind of music. Stream them out, brothers. They have a lot of albums. Very, very good band. Next, string of reissues that came out this year for Hank 3. Hank 3, this is Damn Right Rebel Proud. Hank 3 is literally one, like, I kind of left the country stuff in the 90s and was a real big metal guy in the 90s and, early 2000s. And then Hank 3 came out and he was doing a little bit of country, a little bit of punk, a little bit of metal in his music. And he brought me back to loving it. I found there was, there's some new, some cool stuff out there. And found a lot of bands through him. I'm just so glad they reissued all this stuff on Devano because I love him. And I'm so glad to get it. He a lot of people like him. A lot of people don't like him. It's your preference, but I love his stuff. I mean, he's got some albums that are really not good, but he has some albums that are complete masterpieces in my mind. This one, for sure. Hank 3, Straight to Hell. This album, sorry about the glare there, guys. This album is one of my favorite albums of all time. They did a beautiful job on this one. The vinyl is, oof. I love this album. If you've never heard this album like changed my way of thinking, like brought me back in. It's like, wow, there is still outlaws out there. Whew, that album's great. Next is another reissue they did this year for him. Lovesick, Broken and Drifting. This is a great album. Yeah, that's cool. This is a pretty cool album. This is his second album before Straight to Hell. This has let's see, Mississippi Mud, Whiskey, Weed, and Women, Broken, Lovesick, and Drifting. Yeah, that's great. But and yeah, it was another one of their early reissues, or another one of his reissues. The really only one I really want now is Rebel Within. The rest I can pick up there here and there, but they need to reissue that. And the last of the reissues of Hank 3 they did was this one. It's Rising Outlaw. This is his first album. It's got a smoky vinyl. This one, before he was all tattooed up, he was still pretty clean cut. But, right when he first came out, this one has Thunderstorms and Neon Signs by Wayne Hancock on it. Great album. They're all good. They're all a little different. These two were more like straight up like country, him finding his way. And then these two are his, like, punky country rock. Like him finally doing what he wanted to do. Great albums. Next, Heady Wax Fiends did a reissue of the first 3 49 Winchesters. This, I wanted a vinyl so bad. This album is one of my favorite albums of the last 5 years. It's just killer album. This one on a red vinyl. Hey, Wax Fiends, if you guys don't know this, check out on Facebook, check out their page. It's a music community. They do great stuff, reissues and stuff, but just great people and great music. This one has Everlasting Lover, Raleigh, Hayes Kansas on it. Oh my God, this album is So good. I mean, like I said, one of my top albums of the last 5 years. So they reissued that. No, sorry, that was the first issue of that on vinyl, and they did their self-titled. This another great one. They did this one on a green vinyl. Great. It's not. I need to listen to it more. And then they also did The Wind. And they did their new album. So you got these 3 albums plus their new album, Autographed. I think it was $80. It was well worth the price. But they do a lot of albums over there that are so good that you may not know the name, but the guys know what they're talking about, and I've not heard anything bad on there yet. There's another record I bought from Fuzzy Needle. He was listening in the store and I had to pick it up. This is Dean Johnson. Nothing for Me, Please. This is, a folky. This is a folky, folk country album. This is a beautiful album if you've not heard it. This is one of those ones that people really need to check out. Just amazing. Check out the song. I keep on listening to it. Fairway Skies. Most people know Acting School, but I love Fairway Skies. Sounds like a guy out in the woods at a fire, and a cowboy sitting out at a fire, listening, singing. Oh, just so good. It's a great album. Check that out. Dean Johnson, Nothing for Me, Please. And then $10 Cowboy by Charlie Crockett. I did not buy the second album. I'll probably pick it up this year, but this was the first album he put out this year. Oh, so good. Charlie is amazing, and I love everything he does. I think this is the only album I have, but I listen to him all the time. I need to get more of his albums. But this was a great add to the collection, man. If you're into that, and if you like soul, if you like country, he does a little bit of everything. He's a great man. I didn't get to see him. He came to town this year, and I missed him. And I wish I didn't, but my buddy saw him, said he was amazing. Next, they reissued the first Old Crow Medicine Show. This is something I wanted to be on vinyl forever. I love Old Crow Medicine Show. I have a couple of their ones. This is awesome. I'm so good. This is up there with Hank 3 for albums I really wanted to reissue for a long time. Oh, thank you for that. I had heard one song from this album. This is Sam Lewis, Lover City. This is a great album. He's a singer-songwriter. He's a great guitar player. There's some great blues licks on this album. I got lucky and found this for I think $5 at my local record store. New, they had a deal on stuff they hadn't sold. Whew. If you've never heard this, Sam Lewis, this is a really, really good album. Next here, I've got Aaron Reissue, Single Wide Dreamer. This is he's a singer-songwriter from Nashville. He's another guy that came to town, and I was out of town and didn't get to see him. He wrote a lot of the songs for that A Star Is Born. He wrote a lot of songs for that. So he ain't worried about money too much, but he wrote stuff with Lucas Nelson. But that's not what this sounds like. This is more of the Hayes Carroll, like Josh Morningstar, like that kind of lots of words right in his writing, like very interesting album. If you've not heard him, you need to check him out. He also did an album with Ashley McBride. Not her last album, but the album before. He sang a couple songs on that. Very good. And last of all, I've got the Pink Stones, the signed copy. This is this is a newer country band. Another band that came to my hometown, came here in town, and I missed. Great band. He's got like his voice is different. The band is killer country. Sound honky tonk, man. Oof. If you've never heard this band, check these guys out. This was another album that the Heady Wax Fiends did a release of. If you ever heard them, you should check them out. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Try to put something out tomorrow, maybe, if I have time. Been a busy couple of weeks. Just trying to plug along. Have a good day, guys.